From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. A key figure behind the Alberta separatism movement says some members of Premier Danielle Smith's United Conservative Party caucus have signed the petition for a referendum on the matter. Jeff Rath, a lawyer for the petition group, says he knows for a fact that some UCP legislature members have signed, and he expects more to get on board. Opposition NDP leader Naheed Nenshi is calling on those who signed to speak up.
Their constituents deserve to know, so I would reach out to all of those UCP MLAs who purportedly signed the petition and say, just tell us, what are you scared of? Why are you ashamed? If you signed the petition and you're willing to tell your constituents you're a separatist, you should tell them.
Rath says provincially mandated privacy laws involved in the petition process prevent him from disclosing just who signed the petition. Well, that petition needs nearly 178,000 signatures by May. U.S. President Donald Trump singled out Bombardier in a threat to decertify and tariff Canadian-made aircraft.
In a post on social media over Thursday evening, Trump alleged that Canada has wrongfully, illegally, and steadfastly refused to certify the Gulfstream 500, 600, 700, and 800 jets. Trump says he hereby decertifies Bombardier Global Expresses and all aircraft made in Canada until such a time as Gulfstream, a great American company, is fully certified, as it should have been many years ago. The president says if the situation is not immediately corrected, he'll put a 50% tariff on Canadian aircraft sold in the United States. John Kennedy, the Canadian Press.
Out west now, where a representative of TransLink says it could take several weeks before the only bridge to and from West Ham Island in BC is safe to be used by vehicles once again. Thor Diakow says when a tugboat hit the wooden bridge back on January 20th, it did significant damage to a primary supportive structure.
So this basically shifted parts of the bridge out of alignment. And when you're on the bridge deck currently, you can actually see that it's not in a completely closed position. So it's slightly askew.
Residents of the small community on the island can now only walk across the bridge, while barges and shuttle buses have been set up to help otherwise. As Canada warns travelers of food and electricity shortages in Cuba, experts say any move by the U.S. to overthrow the island's communist leadership could put Canada in a bind. Two former ambassadors say they're confident that Global Affairs Canada is preparing contingency plans to respond to the various ways Washington could intervene in Cuba. And finally, Ukraine is awaiting signs that Russia is abiding by a commitment that U.S. President Donald Trump said it made to temporarily halt attacks on the Ukrainian power grid. Trump says Russian President Vladimir Putin had agreed to his request not to target the Ukrainian capital and other towns for 1 week. The pause could be significant as the region experiences frigid temperatures that have brought widespread hardship to civilians. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Zach Hyman scored 1 minute and 6 seconds into overtime as the Edmonton Oilers came all the way back to edge the San Jose Sharks 4-3. Danila Yorov and Vinny Hinostroza scored in the first period as the Minnesota Wild went on to beat the Calgary Flames 4-1. Darren Radish and Yanni Gourde each had a goal and 2 assists to lead the Tampa Bay Lightning to a 4-1 victory over the Winnipeg Jets. Nick Suzuki scored a power play and a shorthanded goal to go along with an assist as the Montreal Canadiens earned a 7-3 win over the Colorado Avalanche. And finally, in the late games, the Seattle Kraken came out on top 5-2 over the Toronto Maple Leafs, while the Vancouver Canucks blanked the Anaheim Ducks 2-0. And still on the ice, Beth Peterson topped Pool B after posting a 7-5 victory over Alberta's Selena Sturmey in the evening session of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts in Mississauga, Ontario. Peterson closed out group play with a perfect 8-0 record, with the playoffs set to begin. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.